guys, it's Rachel. I actually just started this live before I realized I did. I'm going to try to see how long I can keep this up. But yesterday when I came on and shared about the reading, I had a spirit thought that I could do this more often. And it may actually be easier for me to share. And I had been getting feelings that I would be sharing in new ways and was kind of just like waiting to be guided how that would be. And I could say more about that, but I won't right now. But and I was kind of exploring different avenues for that, and nothing was really cementing for me yet. But anyway, it's easy for me to share after a reading, and I can't always do so, but everything's kind of fresh in my mind. And I just got out of a divine guidance session, and I love divine guidance sessions, and I don't talk much about these. I didn't start out doing them, but let me talk a little bit about how I came to start offering divine guidance sessions. I was probably a couple years into this work, and I started having clients come that wanted to reconnect and would connect with their loved ones in spirit again, which is just fine. But I started to notice that the people, as they experienced healing, the messages became more about the person's path here that spirit would want to bring through. And sometimes I would sit down to readings and say they really, I'll say hello, but they really just need guidance, or they're ready for guidance. So it's really a wonderful thing when we experience enough healing to want to move forward in our lives here. So to receive guidance from spirit is a good sign. When you're coming out of bereavement, so to speak, when you're like moving from a state of really just needing to care for you, when you're in mourning, to being able to focus on your life here. And so it became easier for me to just let people decide if that's something they want and to be able to book that. It's a more efficient reading than going into it and then, trying to get more and more connections, mediumistic connections, and then realizing, the person needs guidance. and usually that's the person's intention. I've never actually had it. I've never asked someone if they were open to guidance and had them say no, but they really just wanted to hear from their loved ones. So today, without divulging too much about my client's information, it was a client who she said we have actually connected several times over the years, and our first connection was a mediumship connection where I connected with her son and maybe other loved ones too. I do know that I have connected with her father at some point because he made himself known and let me know that we had connected before. So even with divine guidance sessions, you guys, people's loved ones usually make an appearance, either to say hello, or if it's somebody in spirit who has wisdom for the person here, a person in spirit who is guiding them in a particular area, they want to make it known that they are helping them, that they are guiding them in the particular area of their life that they have question about. So again, I always hear from the people's past loved ones, and that's really beautiful. And in this, right away, it started with, I'll just talk a little bit about it. It started with the client's dad showing up and mentioning her mom right away, and that he's supporting her and caring for her. And the client validated that yes, her mom is elderly and she does care for her and is over there, if not every day, most days. And her dad likes that she is helping her with flowers, and also acknowledge that mom's flowers she has to take care of, or she will have to take care of. And what this meant for my client was that her mom always loves flowers and planting them, but can no longer take care of them herself. And I think she kind of knew that, but her choice, but just knowing that if she does, help mom with flowers, that she'll be the one that has to take care of them. But that her dad, is supporting her in that. And then when really the focus became about the guidance, and it was relational situations, circumstances, and what I found today, and usually find, is that on some level, when it comes to guidance, people usually already have the answer. It's just nice to have that affirmation. what I was actually shown today in the reading towards the end was the guidance that came through allows my client to not carry the burden of, am I doing the right thing while she's going through this difficult circumstance, right? Because it's not something that's she's going to be through tomorrow. I know. And so it, even though on some level she knew the answers herself, to get that validation from spirit that this is what you're going through. So I was basically shown the relationship. I was shown what's going on, and to be able to tell her what I was seeing and to give her the loving affirmations of support from spirit just really allows her not to have the added stress while she's going through what's already a difficult time of questioning, am I making the right decision? Because you guys, what spirit brings through with divine guidance is our soul's potential, our highest potential, what is for our highest good, and what we're ready for, okay? That second part is critical too, because I've learned that, sometimes it's baby steps we need to take. I see this a lot in career or jobs. Let's say somebody comes and they are wanting out of the job they're in, and I see, yes, they're not in alignment. This isn't like their soul's gifts are not utilized. They don't have a sense of fulfillment in the work they're in, right? And I might be shown that there's another position, a completely different job that they're ready for, and that they will experience happiness if they choose to. And I say choose to because they always give us our potential and what we're ready for, but it's always potential and not a prediction, because we always have free will, right? I have also found that if the person has some growth that they need to experience, then in that same type of, let's say, given the same circumstances, spirit may not bring through the job on the other side yet, because maybe they need to stay where they are because there's some growth they need to experience to be ready for the next opportunity, if that makes sense. So it's very much dependent upon what the client is ready for and what spirit knows is their highest potential. And it's important to know that anything that comes through, I never make predictions. Anything I give a client, and I try to be more and more clear about it, the more I delivering it, the more I go along and doing this work, especially with divine guidance, where I haven't been doing that as long, is it's always connected. Like, let's say I see that there's an opportunity for someone to move, and that's a really good thing. So spirit will usually show me what is for someone's highest good. They'll show me if there are any obstacles or any resistance that's in the way as well. Okay, if the person is ready or ready enough, right? So it's not like we have to be perfectly lined up and ready, but if we're close enough, and we just have some obstacles that spirit sees we can overcome. If they have some resistance they see we're ready to shed, to explore, to let go of, then they'll give that opportunity, right? And they may show me that as a potential outcome. And so with this potential outcome, let's say the person has a job opportunity in the place that they're going to move to, but they have free will to make the move, right? So I might see the potential that, yes, I see you downsizing. I see you in this space. This is will all be for your highest good. I'll see any concerns that they have that spirit wants to alleviate. And then I might see, as a result of the move, they are going to get this opportunity, this in some artistic field that they're not currently in. Okay, well, if the person doesn't make the move, then they're not going to get that opportunity. Let's say they're in Kansas and they're thinking of moving to Texas, and then when they get to Texas, there will be this opportunity that opens up. Well, if they never moved to Texas to begin with, they're not going to get that opportunity, right? So I try to be clear about that. That I am clear about that, actually. But that, if then, so sometimes they will get those little stepping stones, and even, again, further down the road into the future. But it's important to know that it's always potential. It's always a potential that I'm seeing, right? And why does Spirit give us these potentials? Because this is to encourage us, right? to say like, okay, they'll show me a little bit. And today with the reading with my client, with this difficult circumstances she's going through, that is a relationship issue, they were showing me, and they won't tell us what to do, right? They will tell us sometimes. Today it was like, well, they want you to be happy. And if you ask yourself, what will make me happy, you already know the answer. And they gave some strong validations about how on the other side of this, my client, if she goes through this crossroads that she's at, on the other side of this, she will find almost like a new identity, like a new sense of self-worth that she hasn't experienced before. And she said she had been writing down, she had just written down self-worth and about how she didn't feel like she had self-worth. So that was very validating for her. And then some evidentials when it comes to evidentials or evidential validations and divine guidance, they're usually about the person's path here. So for example, I might see the space that they're in, and where they may be, like whether it's a house or a job, I'll get details about that the client will validate. And then the cool thing about this is my client has a son in spirit who came through. I had forgotten, even though we connect, because you guys are, I forget the details. But when I felt he was there at the beginning, but it was her dad that spoke about her mom. And then her son came in later just to let his mom know she needed to give herself permission, that she had her permission to his permission. And that was really a beautiful, loving message that he wanted to pop in with and let her know that didn't need to be a factor in her decision-making process with the circumstances that she's in. And another thing that happened is a friend from high school popped in, this beautiful, fiery redhead smoking a cigarette. And it was funny because it was just a little kind of girl power message that she gave. And she said it was something that she would have said. And I'll just leave that there. But she was somebody I'm sure my client wasn't even thinking of and hadn't thought of in a while. But it always surprises me, and it's always fun, the people who will sometimes pop in guidance sessions or mediumship messages for that matter to show their perspective and maybe lessons they learned here. And, she kind of said, like, life is too short to not be happy. And that she, when she told me that she was sick and she passed in her 30s or 40s, and my client validated that was true. So this is somebody on the other side who, was my client's age. She was friends with in high school, and still had good memories with, that she told me about. The friend in spirit told me about, and the client validated. And to hear her say that, where she's like, she didn't live as long here as my client, and just like life is short. Spirit has that higher perspective from their experiences, from the lessons that they've learned, either through their life experiences here or just from passing at a young age, So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy. Hi, everybody who is able to join me and watching today. Hi, Ann. Hi, Chris. Hi, MK. So, anyway, beautiful connection, and gave the client, I feel like, the strength just from getting the affirmation from Spirit about what she, that she felt, that her feelings, and that she's making right decisions. Sometimes we just need to know that. And by getting loving affirmations from Spirit, that can help us move forward in our lives without having the added burden of when we're going through difficult times of, am I doing this? Am I making the right decision? So, and again, knowing that Spirit has our back, but doesn't tell us what to do, but always has our highest good and happiness at their heart. It's what they want to lead us to, is to discovering for ourselves our highest good and happiness. So, thank you, Anne, for sharing that. I've always found your messages from my loved ones so healing. Yeah, even in a mediumship, I feel like there is guidance that comes through from our loved ones. It doesn't have to be a divine guidance session, it really is about just like in the divine guidance session, I heard from her loved ones and got validations from them. And another family member that had recently passed too, to let his family know that he was okay. So, and that was a divine guidance session. So in divine guidance sessions, I definitely make mediumistic connections because I don't know, I just feel like that's what I maybe do most, or my specialty or what have you. But the more I do the guidance sessions, the more I learn to appreciate how important they are too. It's important for us to have that affirmation for moving forward in our lives. So I will end with saying, trust what you already feel to be true, and know that, when you're in alignment with your highest self, when you're feeling good, when you're feeling connected to your soul, to your higher self, to the divine, that the decisions that you want to make, and when you're feeling that connection, you can be certain that your loved ones, your angels, your spirit helpers are backing you up, that they are guiding you. Okay. And I could talk more about that sometime, discerning between like fear-based thoughts and our lower self thoughts, and maybe even overcoming obstacles, overcoming resistance, if that's something you guys would like to hear about. But I just want to leave you with those encouraging words with whatever you're going through today, because we're all going through something, just sometimes we're going through things that are bigger than other times, but we're always faced with decisions that we're making. And the more confident we can feel that we're making the right decisions for us, the more we can go through life with ease and peace and joy and freedom. So trust, trust, trust. Thanks, you guys, for joining me, and have a good rest of your day.